Are your friendships one-sided? Are you doing all the work? Time for a change. Hi, and welcome back to Ask Dr. Saira, the show where I answer your questions about personal growth, spiritual development, and mental health. And here we go. Today's question is a good one. It's from Jasdeep, and she says, how do you know if your friendships are one-sided? I seem to be always making the plans and doing the work. So again, the question is, how do you know if your friendships are one-sided? I seem to be always making the plans and doing the work. Okay, Jasdeep. You're talking to a fellow one-sider. There were years and years where my friendships were pretty one-sided. And I did a lot. I gave a lot. I showed up a lot. I made the plans. I over-delivered, right? I over-delivered. What do they say these days? Undercharging and don't undercharge and over-deliver. But that's what I was doing as a kid and a teenager and even into my 20s. And if you think about why, if I think about why I did those things at that time, I would say it's because I really wanted to be liked. I really wanted friends. I really wanted community. And so I would go kind of above and beyond and do all these nice things for people. Now, there was a very, very tiny handful of people who would do nice things back for me. And it was only when I got to university that I started realizing that you don't need tons and tons of people in your life. You just need a couple quality people, right? A couple quality people. And so as I grew and as I kind of evolved in my friendships, I learned that if a friendship is one-sided, it's because I need something and that person is not capable of giving it to me. And so I want to look at, first of all, what is the need? Could I get it met in some other way? And second of all, is that person ever going to be capable of matching me, right? Of being on the same page as me? Where it comes from, where all of these behaviors come from, is early attachment. Early attachment. So when we were babies, we needed to bond with a caregiver because otherwise we would die, right? Basic survival. And so we did whatever we needed to get the attention of our caregivers. We made cute little sounds. As we grew up, we learned how to, be sweet and be like, nature gave us cuteness so that we get paid attention to, so that there'd be that reciprocal relationship. So somebody would pick us up. Nature gave us cuteness, right? And I'm thinking of that because right now, as my kids are growing, the cuteness is going down, right? They're becoming more and more like adult faces and, young adult faces. And so I don't want to ooh them the same way. They don't need me as much. And so their bodies are showing me that I don't need to show up as much. The relationship is becoming a little bit more reciprocal with my kids as they grow. At the beginning, it was one-sided, right? I had to give and give and give and give, and that's healthy in a parenting relationship. But in a friendship, so if I'm giving and giving and the other person isn't reciprocating, something's wrong, something's off balance. So that's what I want to look at first is, why am I doing this? Why am I continuing to give and give and give and give? And then feeling maybe resentful or disappointed or hurt when something isn't being given back to me. Because that's something you can change, right? We cannot change the other person. We cannot make the other person more of a planner or more giving or more, considerate. We can't. But we can change what we do, right? I can change that I stop running after people who have no time for me or interest in my presence. There are people who have absolutely no interest in my presence. And I've learned to realize that that has nothing to do with me, right? Because some people love me, some people have no interest in my presence. So why would I go after those people? Back to childhood, because no matter what our parents are like, we're wired to want to bond with them. And sometimes, and in some periods of our lives or some particular parents, our parents are distant or unavailable or difficult. And then we develop that habit of longing and chasing after people who are unavailable. So that's where it starts. So if you want to dig a little bit deeper, that's where this imbalance starts, where you're the one who's doing everything. You have a role to play in that. You're the one who's chasing. You're the one who's running towards. What if you stopped? Right? And I work in my groups, we talk about this, like, what if you changed? If you stopped running after other people, maybe they just keep going, and maybe they naturally shift out of your life. And maybe the ones who had something to give you would start showing up, because there'd be room for them, there'd be time for them, you'd have energy for them. Knowing a relationship is one-sided means you've noticed that you do more than they do, which can also mean you're not very good at receiving. So some of us who are givers are really good at giving, really good at, offering things to the world. But when we have a gift coming towards us, it's like, no, I don't feel good about, I don't know. So today I wore this necklace on purpose. And I wore it because I wanted to tell you a little story about it. So during COVID-19, when everything was locked down and people still needed support, people still needed guidance and teaching, but they couldn't come physically to do that, I was approached by a community group and asked to do a training for their volunteers on burnout, which I did, and I loved it. It was online, and it was a gift that I gave to the community. I didn't charge for it. I just said, like, of course I'll do that, and here it is. And I did the 1.5 hour whatever presentation. And they called me back a couple more times, and I did a couple more things for them, and that was it. And it was my gift. And then a few months later, I get a package in the mail, and this necklace and a card are in the package. And it was just a thank you for showing up for us and giving us that gift. And that was really profound for me, because I truly, genuinely did not expect anything, any return on what I didn't expect there to be like an exchange. I thought I was just giving. And I did it wholeheartedly. And so when the gift came, it was like, wow, yeah, okay, right? But if I was expecting something, like, if I was expecting like a thank you and I never got it, I have family members who were like, did you get the thing I sent you? Can you say thank you to me? Right? Like, they're expecting the thank you. They're expecting the something back for the gift that they've given. And so I'm learning how to receive. I'm learning how to let other people give to me too, and make the relationships more equal. When we're always giving, we're putting ourselves above other people, bottom line. If you're always giving, you're saying they have needs, I don't have any needs. They have needs that I will give to them. But what if you could bring everybody up to the same level and give to each other, so that you're not looking down on someone unconsciously? So those are my thoughts about one-sided friendships. It may well be one-sided, and you kind of have to evaluate that in yourself. And if it is one-sided, you gently let them move out. There's another video we did on cutting people off, so you can watch that to learn how to not just cut people off, but gently let them move away. And yeah, that's the answer. That's my answer. And anybody else who has a question that you want answered, this burning question that you just can't, you Google it and there's like way too many different answers and you don't know which is the right one, send it here. I don't know if I'm going to have the right answer, but I'll have an informed answer that I'll share with you. If you're interested in staying connected, check us out at dragonflywellnesscenter.ca. dragonflywellnesscenter.ca. That's where that's the portal in to kind of becoming part of our community, our growth and learning community. So join us if you feel called. We've got free events going on. We've got resources for you. So check it out, dragonflywellnesscenter.ca, and keep in touch.